Welcome back to Sip and Talk. Great to have you tuning in again.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be here.
So our good friend Mickey, he's tossed another challenge our way today.
Oh, yeah. What's he got us pondering this time?
Well, it's all this buzz about the U.S. government hearings, you know. The big question, are aliens real? Or what's the deal?
The UFO hearings. Right. It's definitely been in the news cycle.
Exactly. And Mickey's like, you guys are in the U.S. What's the scoop? We were sitting in on the congressional hearings or something.
Right. If only. But yeah, it's a fascinating topic. We've kind of touched on similar themes before, haven't we? Extraterrestrial life, big cosmic questions.
We have. But today, we're going to really dig into what actually came out of these specific U.S. hearings. Like, what do they say? Is there any new data?
Okay. And then
part two. Let's just say, okay, if they're out there, what might they want? What's their angle?
Ooh, the motivation question. That gets interesting.
And for the grand finale, part three, maybe none of it matters because we're all just living in a simulation. You know, like Elon Musk keeps saying.
The simulation hypothesis. Going deep today. Okay, I'm in. So the plan is hearings, alien motives, simulation reality.
Yep. We'll try to sift through the claims, the facts, maybe some politics, some philosophy.
Oh.
Lay it all out for you.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Okay, so let's unpack this first part. The U.S. government has actually been holding these hearings on, what do they call them now? UAPs?
UAPs, yeah. Unidentified anomalous phenomena. It's the new official term for UFOs. Less baggage, maybe.
Right, less little green men, maybe. So what's the actual lowdown? What have these hearings revealed?
Okay, well, it's been a process. Back in May 2022, there was a pretty significant public hearing, House Intelligence Committee.
I remember hearing about that one.
Yeah, you had Pentagon officials, guys like Ronald Moultrie and Scott Bray, basically confirming they're tracking over 400 unexplained cases.
Oh, 400, that's a lot.
It is, and they showed a couple of official videos, too. But, and this is key, at that time, they were very clear. No evidence, they said, of aliens. Zero proof of extraterrestrial origins.
Okay, so acknowledgement, but no aliens confirmed. Still, just acknowledging 400 unexplained things is kind of big, isn't it? Compared to the old days of just denial.
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge shift in just talking about it openly. It forces you to rethink decades of silence. You know, why now? What's changed?
Right, but then things got a bit spicier, didn't they, with that whistleblower?
Yeah, you mean David Grush.
Okay.
That was July 2023 House Oversight Committee, and his testimony was, well, explosive is the right word.
What did he actually claim? Because the headlines were pretty wild.
He alleged, under oath, that the government has recovered, quote, non-human craft wreckage and even biological samples, non-human biologics.
Whoa, okay. Wreckage and biologics, that sounds like confirmation.
Well, here's the critical part. Grush himself hadn't seen this stuff directly. He was relaying information he said he got from other high-level intelligence officials. His info was indirect.
So he's reporting what he was told, not showing physical proof himself in the hearing. That's a really important distinction.
Exactly. But putting those allegations, even indirectly, into the official congressional record, that was a seismic moment. It forces a kind of confrontation with potential secrecy.
And these hearings aren't just public spectacles, right? There's stuff happening behind the scenes, too.
Definitely. There are ongoing closed-door briefings, classified sessions with military personnel, other whistleblowers coming forward. Lots happening that we don't hear about because of, you know, national security.
So it's a mix of public statements and secret intel stuff.
Yeah.
Complex.
Very.
Okay, but beyond the officials and whistleblowers, what about the pilots, the people actually seeing these things up close? Are they just, like, misidentifying weather balloons?
Hey, well, that's the classic explanation, isn't it? But the account suggests something more. Luis Elizondo, you know, the guy who used to run a Pentagon UAP program?
Yeah, I've heard the name.
He's claimed there have been dozens upon dozens of near-air collisions, actual near misses between military aircraft and these UAPs.
Dozens, that sounds dangerous.
It is. And it's not just Elizondo saying it. A Pentagon report in 2022 confirmed at least 11 near misses over a 20-year span.
11 confirmed near misses. Okay, that's...
Oh, whoa!
Yeah, that's not nothing. That needs explaining.
Right. And some incidents get really specific. Like January 2023, an F-16 over Arizona supposedly got hit by an orange-white uncrewed aerial system. Damaged the canopy.
Hit? Like a collision?
That's the report. Then you've got the famous Navy pilot accounts from 2014, 2015, the Tic Tac videos and stuff.
Right, the Tic Tac.
And even more recently, like reports from 2025, over 40 incidents logged over Georgia, a sighting over South Wales just this past May. These aren't just fuzzy blobs. They're often detailed reports from highly trained pilots.
People whose job it is to know what's in the sky. Okay, that's compelling stuff. So back to the question. Why now? Why is the government suddenly being more open?
Ish. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? There wasn't like one single moment where someone said, okay, let's tell everyone. But the Trump administration did sign that bill in 2020 requiring a UAP report.
Ah, right. That led to the D&I report in 2021.
Exactly. The one that looked at 144 incidents and said most were largely unexplained. So it seems like there's this momentum towards more transparency, regardless of who's in the White House.
And why? What's driving it?
Could be a few things. Maybe it really is about national security, figuring out if these are advanced drones from, say, China or Russia. That's a real possibility.
Okay, a terrestrial explanation.
Or maybe it's just about managing public perception better. You know, get ahead of the narrative instead of letting speculation run wild.
So the bottom line on part one is these UAP things in the hearings are real, credible people are reporting weird stuff.
Yep, real events, credible reports.
But as of today, June 26, 2025, no official, public, slam-dunk proof that it's ET phoning home.
That's the situation. Lots of smoke, compelling accounts, government taking it seriously, but no definitive fire-labeled aliens. Yet, anyway.
Okay, so the government is taking UAP seriously, even if they aren't confirming little green men.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where it gets really interesting. What if? What if they are out there? What would aliens actually want to do with us? Or maybe to us.
Right. Let's shift gears into that thought experiment. If they exist and they can get here, what are their potential motivations? It's a huge question.
Yeah, because usually it's like either they come in peace, want to help us evolve, or it's Independence Day, right? Blow everything up. Are those the only options?
Hey, probably not. Sci-fi loves those extremes, but reality or potential reality might be more nuanced. We could maybe categorize their possible motives.
Okay, let's try. What's category one?
How about the scientific explorers? Think about how we study like an ant farm or deep sea vents or chimps in the wild. Maybe they're just observing us, studying human society, our wars, our art, our languages. Maybe without interfering at all. Could be they're just curious scientists. Maybe they're even hiding among us, just watching.
Like cosmic anthropologists? Okay, that's curious. Kind of a 9, I guess. Bit creepy, but benign. What else?
Well, then there's the less comfortable option. The colonizers or resource seekers.
Ah, like our own history, you mean?
Exactly. Unfortunately, yeah. They might see Earth as valuable real estate, or maybe they need resources. We have water, minerals, breathable atmosphere, maybe even our biology.
Or us, like enslave humanity.
It's a grim possibility if there's a big technology gap. If they can travel interstellar distances, chances are their tech is way beyond ours. We might be pretty defenseless.
Yikes. Okay, that's the scary one. What's next? Maybe something in between.
Maybe the mysterious observers. This is kind of your Star Trek Prime Directive idea.
Don't interfere with less developed civilizations.
Right. They might believe advanced species shouldn't meddle. So they know we're here, they watch, but they deliberately keep their distance, waiting for us to, I don't know, grow up, reach a certain technological or ethical level.
Waiting for us to stop fighting all the time, maybe. Huh. Okay, that makes a weird kind of sense. Yeah. Any other categories?
One more, and this one kind of ties into our next big topic. The creators or interveners.
Creators, like they made us.
Or they see Earth as like an experiment, a giant petri dish, or maybe even a simulation they're running.
Oh, okay, that's a big leap.
It is, but think about it. Maybe they set things in motion here, and they occasionally tweak things, nudge evolution, influence climate, maybe even interact in ways that we interpret as like religious miracles or mystical experiences.
So our gods might just be alien programmers.
It's one way to interpret that idea, yeah. Like humans designing an AI simulation or a complex video game world.
Man. Okay, so if these aliens are watching or interacting or whatever, how do you think they'd see us? Like, what's their assessment? Are we getting a passing grade?
Good question. Well, they might look at our wars, our nukes, how we're wrecking the environment, and label us a dangerous species.
A cosmic cancer.
Possibly. Something that needs to be contained or maybe even eliminated before we spread.
Cheery thought.
Or they might see our other side. Our art, our music, our ability to love, to cooperate, our flashes of brilliance, and see us as potential partners.
Okay, I like that better. Maybe pick a few of us for a cultural exchange program.
Could be. Or maybe they'd see us more clinically, like experiment subjects.
Like lab rats.
Yeah. How do humans react to stress? How does consciousness work? Let's tweak their genes or their environment and see what happens. Not necessarily malicious, just scientific from their perspective.
Okay, so if contact actually happened,
Yeah.
forget the aliens' motives for a second, how would we react? Humanity. Chaos, right?
It would be massive. Probably a mix of everything. You'd get some people calling for global unity, finally, something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah, the common enemy or common friend effect.
Right. You'd have huge religious upheaval. Does this confirm beliefs? Shatter them. You'd definitely have panic, maybe nationalism if it looked like an invasion.
Conspiracy theories would go off the charts.
Absolutely. Especially if the contact was subtle or secret. And hey, if they offered a way off Earth, imagine the scramble. A mass exodus. Total societal meltdown potential.
Wild.
Yeah.
Just wild to think about. Okay, deep breath. If aliens weren't enough, let's tackle the simulation thing.
The ultimate mind bender.
Elon Musk says, odds are we're in one. And this isn't just him being quirky, right? There's actual, philosophical thinking behind this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It mainly comes from the philosopher Nick Bostrom back in 2003, his simulation hypothesis.
Okay, break it down for me. Why would a smart philosopher think we're living in the Matrix?
So Bostrom's argument is basically statistical. It goes like this. If civilization can reach a point where they can create super realistic simulations of their ancestors, for example, with conscious beings inside.
Okay, like simulating the 21st century.
Exactly. If they can do that, they'd likely run tons of these simulations. Billions, maybe trillions. So if there are countless simulated realities and only one base reality.
Okay, and statistically, it's way more likely we're in one of the simulations.
That's the core idea. The sheer number of potential simulations would dwarf the single original reality.
Okay, I get the logic, but it still feels like sci-fi. Why should we take it seriously? Is there anything, in our reality that hints at it?
Well, proponents point to a few things. First, look at our own tech growth. It's exponential.
Yeah, video games look way more real than they did 20 years ago.
Exactly. You can play games now that are incredibly immersive. We simulate weather, economies, traffic, complex physics. We're building these simulated worlds ourselves, getting better and better at it. What happens when they become truly indistinguishable from real life?
We wouldn't know the difference.
Precisely. And think about how much of your life already happens in virtual spaces. Social media, online games, Zoom calls. We live huge chunks of our existence mediated by screens and code. How can you be 100% sure this isn't just another layer?
That's unsettling.
Some physicists even bring up weird quantum stuff, like particles behaving differently when they're being observed.
The observer effect.
Yeah. Some argue it's like a video game only rendering the details you're looking at to save processing power. Why calculate the state of a particle if no player is observing it?
Okay, stop. You're freaking me out now.
Yeah.
It sounds like a cosmic computer optimizing its graphics card.
Yeah, it's one interpretation. It doesn't prove anything, but it's suggestive, maybe?
So if we are in a simulation, who's running the show? Who's the player?
The big unknown. Could be that alien super civilization we talked about. Maybe this is their version of studying primitive species like us. Or maybe it's just their version of The Sims.
Cosmic kids playing with simulated humans. Great.
Or maybe it's future humans. Maybe they're running simulations of the past, our time, to understand how things went wrong or right. How did climate change happen? How did AI evolve?
Studying their own history by rerunning it.
And here's a fun twist on that. Simulations could likely be copied. Maybe you aren't the only version of you running right now. Maybe you're Mickey simulation number 748 million.
Oh, terrific. Just what I needed. Thanks for that image.
Or, finally, maybe this is just a scientific lens on the idea of God or a creator. Instead of a physical universe, the creator built an incredibly complex virtual universe. The laws of physics are just the rules of the code.
So it all comes back to the big questions anyway. Okay, final thought on this then. If you woke up tomorrow and you genuinely believed, okay, this is all a simulation, how would you live differently? Would you just give up? Go wild.
That's the real kicker, isn't it? If it's a game, how do you play? Does anything matter? Or does everything matter? Because you get to choose how you experience this particular run-through.
Does finding happiness or meaning become more important? Maybe. Because that's the point of playing the game.
Maybe. What matters to you if the stage is digital? Does love feel less real? Does learning feel less valuable? Or do you just embrace the experience you're having, code or not? It's a deep philosophical puzzle. Wow, we really went on a journey today with Sip and Talk. Started with concrete, well, sort of concrete, government hearings.
Right? The UAP hearings.
Yeah.
Definitely real, definitely happening. The government is taking something seriously.
But we got to reiterate, despite the whistleblowers, the pilot stories, no public confirmed proof of aliens, not yet. It's still this murky mix of secrets, unknowns, and speculation.
And then we jumped into the what if they are here, what do they want? Exploration, resources. Are they just watching us like cosmic reality TV?
Or maybe they're running the show, which led us to
the ultimate head spinner. Are we just lines of code in an incredibly advanced simulation built by aliens, future us, or something else?
It really makes you question the nature of reality itself, especially as our own virtual worlds get more convincing.
So here's the final thought to leave you with. If everything you experience, every high, every low, every fact you think you know is just part of a program, does that make it fake? Or just a different kind of real? And what does that do to the idea of your free will? How do you choose to live within that possible framework?
Phew. Okay, thank you so much for diving into that rabbit hole with us today.
Yeah, thanks for sticking with us. We love exploring these big ideas. What really stuck with you? Team Alien, Team Simulation. Let us know.
Definitely. And hey, please subscribe to Sip and Talk wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss our next chat.
Please do.
And a special shout out, of course, to our old friend Mickey for sparking today's topic. Go check out his YouTube channel, Mickytolife.
Oh, yeah. What's on Mickey's channel? More mind-bending stuff.
Mostly hilariously cute cat meme videos. Seriously, if all this talk about aliens and simulations is stressing you out, go watch some cats. It's the perfect antidote.
Cat memes. Okay, now that's some reality I can get behind. Good recommendation.
We'll catch you next time for more intriguing conversations. Bye for now, everyone.